Good morning. Do you have your cup of tea? Let's just start off by having a nice deep breath. Wiggle around wherever you're sitting so that you can find a comfy spot. And feel the warmth of the teacup on your fingers. As you take a deep breath, maybe you can smell the aroma of your tea. Maybe you feel the heat from the steam as you breathe it in. Maybe it's the same tea you were drinking yesterday, or maybe you're trying something new today. Take a moment to really feel the smell in your nose. Think about, what does it smell like? Maybe have a sip and think about how the flavor feels in your mouth and the warmth on your tongue. Or maybe you're having a cold tea, a cold infusion of marshmallow and cinnamon, for example. You'll feel the coolness on your tongue. That would be an interesting tea actually to do this exercise with, because you'd feel the coolness of the water and of the marshmallow, but the warmth of the spicy cinnamon. And as you are just focusing on these feelings, today I want to think a little bit about compassion for others with an exercise that I really like that comes from an American Buddhist meditation tradition, where we can think about the way that we're feeling. Usually this is the way that we're feeling discomfort, although it could be any feeling. We can think about the discomfort that we're feeling, and then we can recognize that many other people are feeling that same discomfort. Let's imagine, for example, having lost a job. That's something happening a lot right now. Even if the job isn't lost, it is suspended temporarily. And so there is all of the worry about not having the financial stability that you need, and are you going to lose your health insurance? And when you are carrying that feeling all by yourself, it's enormous. But I like to sit for a moment and think, in this way, with this discomfort and these feelings of fear and worry and anxiousness, in this way, I am like all people who are having this same experience. I'm like all people who are not employed right now. And we are all having these feelings together. And something about that makes it obviously not really any easier. Your situation hasn't changed. But for me, it sort of helps to spread the weight of the worry and to realize that I'm not alone in these fears, but that I'm actually in community in discomfort. And that I actually have a lot in common with other people who are feeling this type of discomfort. And I love this exercise, and to then really push it, not just to people who are just like me who also have lost their jobs right now, but people who are nothing like me, who have lost their jobs in circumstances that are nothing like mine. People I might not normally relate to. And yet, right now, we have the same worries and the same fears and the same anxiousness. I love this exercise because it can help me develop compassion for others It can help me feel rooted in a community with my discomfort so that I don't feel like I am facing it alone. But I also love to take this exercise and turn it around a little bit. Because here's the thing, as humans, we focus on differences a lot. Let's just talk about your partner or your spouse or someone who lives in your household or a close dear friend of yours. We focus a lot on differences, and when that person is doing something that is uncomfortable for us in some way, they're chewing with their mouth open, they put the toilet roll on backwards, whatever, we can get really wrapped up about that. Why are they so different than me? Why are they doing a thing I would never do? And in times like this, where we are out of our normal comfort routines, or our normal discomfort, but at least it's a discomfort that we are familiar with, and we are close together, we're all feeling the same sorts of emotions, actually. We're all feeling fear and discomfort and anxiousness and worry. But we don't all deal with those feelings exactly the same way. And so people close to you who you love might be dealing with those feelings in ways that make you feel very uncomfortable. And if you can sit with it for a moment and say, we are all feeling nervousness and anxiousness, and in this way we are like all people. Even if we are acting those things out in different ways, I can still see the community, the similarity of the discomfort that we're experiencing together. And if you sit with that feeling for a while, then you may realize that when your loved one is doing something that is quite irritating to you, you may start to be able to say, oh, I see that this is an expression of your nervousness right now. I see that this is an expression of your worry right now. I feel that worry too. And instead of focusing on the irritating expression of the worry that is different than your expression of worry and therefore uncomfortable to you and clearly very wrong, instead we are focusing on, oh, you're expressing your worry. I'm also feeling worry. In this way, we are the same. And we can turn things that might have irritated us into a kind of camaraderie, a kind of community, actually. So while you sit with your teacup, enjoying the feeling of warmth on your fingers, enjoying the smell and the taste of the tea, even if maybe the formula you made this morning isn't as delicious as you thought it was going to be. That's all right. You can savor the feeling of the flavor. Feeling the warmth as it goes down towards your belly. We can be thinking about the ways in which we're like all people. Even the people that we think we're very different from. Even the people who are behaving in ways that are very different than us. At our core, there is something that we have in common. And right now, we have this big thing in common with the staying at home and the worry around coronavirus. We can let that be a tool for building camaraderie, community, and compassion, if we think about it right. I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow with another cup of tea.